Hi guys, Gary here again from Discover On with you. Another of my little videos for you today, and this time I just wanted to talk about my home country, the United Kingdom. Just give you some interesting facts that you may or may not know and just tell you a little bit more about my country. I'm a Brit and I'm from the United Kingdom. And as I mentioned, I'm just going to give you some interesting facts and some funny stuff that you might not know about my home country. So we'll start with telling you about the country itself. So the UK is what we call a sovereign state, and that's because we have a centralised government. And the country is officially known as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and is made up of 4 separate countries: England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Great Britain is in fact only made up of 3 countries: Wales, Scotland and England, and is actually an island. Southern Ireland, which is known as the Republic of Ireland, is not part of the United Kingdom. It's an independent country with its own laws, governments and currency. It's actually a member of the European Union and uses the euro, where of course we use the UK pounds, as we have for a long time. The term Great Britain was first used during the reign of King James I of England in 1603, and it was used to refer to the then separate kingdoms of England and Scotland. We have our own flag. The UK flag is called, if you don't know, it's called the Union Jack, although each country has its own separate flags as well. So the UK is also what we call a constitutional monarchy, with Queen Elizabeth II as our head of state. The overall capital city of the UK is London, and of course London is also the capital of England. Each of the separate countries actually have their own capital cities as well. So for example, the capital of Scotland is Edinburgh, the capital of Wales is Cardiff, and the capital of Northern Ireland is Belfast. So let's carry on with a few more interesting facts, a little more obscure facts for you. London was in fact the first city in the world to have an underground subway or metro system. I didn't know that until I researched that. We have our own stamps, of course, like every other country, but to paste a stamp upside down, our stamps have the Queen's head on. If you paste a stamp upside down, that is actually considered to be treason. So be careful when you put your stamps on your envelopes. There are more chickens than humans in the UK. I didn't know that either. So that's an interesting one for you. The clock, the famous clock Big Ben, which I'm sure you all know about, in London actually refers to the bell and not the actual clock itself. Us British drink the most tea in the world. In fact, we drink 165 million cups of tea every day. And I'm in Brazil here, and I'm still contributing that because I love my tea. Wherever I go in the world, I have to have my tea because I'm English. I can't stop drinking tea. Us in the UK, we gave the world football. Although of course some countries are better at it than we are, and I guess you guys are probably still the best. Rugby, boxing, we gave the world boxing, cricket as well. And of course the very earliest railway systems were invented by us Brits. 75% of all land in the UK is actually used for farming, interestingly. J.K. Rowling, who is the English author of the Harry Potter books, is actually the first writer or author in the world to become a billionaire through her books. Wow. So another little fact for you, completed in 2012, there's a building in London called the Shard, and at 350 meters high, it's actually the tallest building in Europe, which I didn't know, another fact. In Scotland, there's a lake, if you like, called Loch Ness, which you may have heard of, and it's the largest body of fresh water in the UK. In fact, it's even deeper than the North Sea, and it never freezes, which is lucky for the monster then. The word pub, which we love our pubs in the UK, where we will go have a drink and get together. The word pub is actually short for public house. Queen Elizabeth II, our Queen, she travels with her own toilet seat and doesn't need a passport. She's the only person in Britain who can travel without a passport. We think, it's believed that there are 30,000 people at least in the UK with the name of John Smith. Very common name. In terms of area, the area of the UK It's smaller than one American state, the American state of Oregon. The UK would fit inside Oregon. 30% of today's Londoners were actually born outside of the United Kingdom, which is very interesting. And because it's really a very small island, Great Britain, nowhere is more than 75 miles or 121 kilometers from the sea in any direction you go. And my last little fact for you is my hometown of Bristol is known as the Seattle of England for its young culture and fashion. Anyway guys, thanks again for listening and watching. See you soon. Cheers.